After 8 days at Taloja and in other prisons, Arnab Goswami has now been given interim bail by the topmost court of the country. It's a victorious day where once again, viewers, we know the Supreme Court has ruled and the law of the land has been laid. But what we also know is the Supreme Court has today said personal liberty is important. What we also know is our counsel Hari Salve said when he was speaking about Arnab that this is a man who's been targeted very viciously, very maliciously by the state government in Maharashtra. Today, as Arnab walks out, holding his head proud, wearing a black t-shirt, he's greeted by a crowd of people and a crowd whom he waves to, a crowd who cheers for him, and the one thing that he continues to say, truth has won. Vande Mataram chants are there, the slogans are there, and this is a celebration of the people. It's very clear from the very start, Arnab fought for the people, and this is a celebration, viewers, ladies and gentlemen, of the people of India. As Arnab is going to be back very soon, joining us in our Mumbai studios, let me welcome happily after 8 days, 7 nights of hosting a debate and missing the man who led us, Arnab, getting ready to greet him back. Let me welcome on the debate Sanju Verma, Rahul Navrikar, Lalit Ambardkar, Rami Desai, Anand Ranganathan, Shefali Vaidya, Rajat Sethi, Neelam Krishnamurthy, Shazia Ilmi, and Zafar Sareshwala. And I come first to Anand Ranganathan. Anand, today when I was going through and I was doing the Supreme Court hearing, I read today what you had written. But before that, before I come to my entire guests, I just 1 minute want to go to the man who's just been freed from Taloja, the man who's been viciously targeted by the state government, Arnab, and what he had to say to the people of India when they welcomed him back. Take a look at that, and then my panel is back with us. Anand Ranganathan, I come to you because I want to take a quick look at what was happening in the courts today, and then we speak, Shazia Ilmi, about the man whom with several people have had differences. But Anand, even as I'm going to come to you, I think Chandrama is telling me there's some issue with the audio. We'll come to you. Shazia is several times in the debate, and I remember starting off with the triple talaq debate in which you were earlier with us. I always remember Arnab standing up for women, Arnab standing up for corruption issues, and Arnab always standing up for the common man. Today, India stood up with him. We saw protests, we saw prayers, we saw around the world people were having prayers for him. And Shazia, the one thought we all know, when the Supreme Court said personal liberty has to be given more ground than technical legalities that were being stated by the state of Maharashtra, it was clearly a victory for the people of India.
Absolutely. And it has been such a vindication of people's trust in the rule of law, and we saw the majesty of law. We saw how the Supreme Court rose to the occasion and granted bail. And this indeed, the outpouring of people and the crowds who were there to celebrate the release of Arnab, the granting of bail, is the biggest vindication of all that we believe in. And it's a reflection of who we are as a people, and what are the institutions that we must have faith in and must seek recourse every now and then. It is also a telling story of the lesson Supreme Court gave, so to speak, especially today on Justice Chandrachud's birthday, when he said it's a time to serve the people, and no better opportunity than this, than to serve the people on one's birthday. But I think his words are so important because there is something to be learned not just for the state government, but also by the lower courts. the Bombay High Court and the Sessions Court, because it was totally illegal and untenable the way Arnab was taken away, detained. There was no merit in custodial interrogation whatsoever. If you look at the case per se, there was the merit of mens rea is so important and pertinent, but it wasn't there in this case either. So in more ways than one, this has been such a vindication and a victory of the people and of the Republic of India and Indians.
Absolutely.
I want to make that very clear, because what Supreme Court said today it was so heartwarming. I mean, you know, we've all have felt the pressure, and it's been very overwhelming, you know, and draining, emotionally sapping for all of us these 7-8 days. And you will not believe it, so many people have been calling up. There are people praying for Arnab. There's a lady who's almost 80. She cried literally, and she says, "I'm so happy to see my Arnab come back." So there has been jubilation at all sides. And you're right, when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to rights of a commoner, of a common citizen, Arnab has always been there. He speaks against corruption. He's been a big crusader when it comes to talking on nationalism, against corruption, and for women's rights.
Absolutely.
For which I have always been on his side and saluted him. And we've differed many times also, but that's all fair.
Absolutely.
When it comes to
and today, this really becomes the victory,
reporting.
as you're saying, Shazia, of the people of India. We've seen in the courts the arguments that were there. We saw how the Supreme Court, when they were looking at the High Court order, at sometimes were shocked. Anand, you were looking at the arguments of Mr. Salve, and you said it was almost like Mr. Salve was fighting for his life. In fact, I was sharing a lot of things in that group, and one of the things that you had written is one of the things I shared in the group, because I truly felt it. Harish Salve, senior advocate who was appearing today, fought the battle of his life. It was not an easy battle, because the state fought on hard. In fact, at one time in the lower court, viewers, let me tell you, they wanted police custody of Arnab in an old suicide case that, like we said in the court, was in 2018, and there was a closure report in 2019. Anand, I come to you. Tell us about what you felt about the Supreme Court, what you felt about Mr. Salve's arguments, and how you look at finally today the victory of Arnab being back.
Yeah, good evening, Ridham. No, it is, you know, the Republicans may have lost in America, but the Republicans have won in India. Pun not intended. But it has been a topsy-turvy day, as you said. You know, it's for the good part of the afternoon, it was riveting, and it wasn't like we were watching on television or listening on a radio. This was live tweeting. And, you know, it went topsy-turvy, as you said. You know, the arguments on both sides were logical, were for their clients, respective clients, but I have to, you know, say hats off to Mr. Harish Salve. The way he fought, as you said, I mean, he was fighting as if he has been incarcerated. And maybe rightly so, because, you know, everyone felt that it is not just Arnab who has been wronged. I think that's the nub of it. You know, every one of us have felt that it was not Arnab who has been wronged, it is we who have been wronged. And many people might say that, look, law should take its own course, of course, and no one more than Arnab, you know it more than anyone, believes in the sanctity of the law. He said it repeatedly. But the point is, when a state becomes so vicious that it uses some of those very laws that are there meant to help people, it uses it against its own citizens, then someone has to rise. And today, I really appreciate the way Justice Chandrachud has negated the High Court judgment and gone ahead and delivered this. But of course, this is such a long road, I don't even need to specify that, because this is just the bail that has been given. And believe me, there is an example of one Samit Thakkar who has been incarcerated, and the moment he gets bail, he comes out of the jail, he's arrested again. This has happened 3-4 times, and now he's been arrested again. So this is the 4th time he's been arrested. So I feel that dark days ahead unless we change the system, because you know, there is only so much the Supreme Court can do. There is only so much that a citizen can approach the Supreme Court. Something has to be done about this. But anyway, that's for another day. I think today is a fantastic day, and welcome back, Arnab. I hope he shows his face on the show. We are all expecting him to show his face. Yeah.
Yes, Anand, that will be the highlight. Neelam Krishnamurthy, a few days ago, a somber debate when I asked you, because I remember the Upar case. 25 years ago, you've been running Pillar to Post. I've met you several times in the court and you've always fought. And I remember the youngest victim in the Upar case is a 30-day-old baby, and you fought for them. And I remember Arnab raising his voice for you. I remember him telling his team, remember him telling us, we have to fight for these people. Today when he's out, what's the elation? What are you feeling? Because one of you is back today, one of you who's come back again fighting the same VIPs that you fought for against.
The morning started 10:30 and we're just waiting for the hearing to begin. Because somewhere deep down my heart, I knew he's going to get the bail because the team was again Mr. Harish Salve, who's been my lawyer for 20 years. And the kind of faith I had in him because he has the conviction. When he takes up a case, somehow in my heart I knew he's going to get the bail. So we kept listening to the arguments. And of course, with the observation of the court, one got a very strong feeling that yes, he's going to get the bail, and he got a sense of relief. I really felt very good, and it's so good to have Arnab back. I would congratulate Arnab and the entire team at Republic for holding the fort while Arnab was away and not giving it up. I think it was very important to be together and take this fight forward. And I know even Arnab has been very strong. I have seen Arnab for more than 2 decades, and he has been the voice of the voiceless victims. And there are a lot of victims here who owe him a lot. There are a lot of people who were praying for him. I'm telling you that he should get bail because he has really taken up the cause for a lot of, just not Upar tragedy, a lot of other cases. So because I have been with him on the panel discussions when he takes up other cases, each time I'm there, to give my opinion, and we've been on the same panel. So I think a lot of prayers are there with him, and that's what really resulted in him coming out. And knowing Arnab very well, I think he's come out stronger. There is no way how you can actually bring Arnab's morale down.
Absolutely.
And we all looking forward to see him back in the studios, taking his fight forward. And this is just not, I know very well, and Arnab knows it very well, this is just not the end. This is just the beginning. There is a long way to go, and I know to fight a powerful lobby is not easy. And who will know it better than us?
Absolutely.
I know it better than Arnab and me because we've actually been fighting this lobby.
Yes, and I also want to go and speak about the 4th of November, Rahul Narvekar, when this fight started at Alibag, the way he was taken, the way he was arrested. Harish Salve in the court spoke about it. There were 40 policemen standing in the compound waiting to arrest him 7:30 a.m. in the morning. The way they barged in, there were no summons. They immediately arrested him. Nothing was told. No legal rights were read out. He was simply told you're being arrested. Nobody told him what case it was. Today, of course, Rahul Narvekar, we are told in the court there is a TRP case. Today, we are told there's a suicide case. There is a Palghar case, a Bandra case, a Maharashtra Assembly case. And very clearly, as I'm going to come across to you, Rahul Narvekar, you also tried to make an attempt to reach out to him, whether it was in Taloja or whether it was trying to speak to him at Alibag. What were those few hours like when you were trying to get in touch with him? What was the feeling you were getting when the state of Maharashtra and the police administration was not allowing anyone to meet him? Sanju Verma, I also want to come to you as Rahul. We're just trying to get in touch with Rahul. Sanju, a few days back, we were on a debate. We'd spoken about this. We remember that sheer angst. And Sanju Verma, today, as we are looking at this, we remember Mr. Salve's arguments like I'm talking about. Every case, the basic attempt that was being made by the state administration was, we don't want him out before Diwali. We want his police custody, which, interestingly, they argued for in the revision case in the morning today.
Rhythm, in the evening, I was riveted to the television when I heard you reading out excerpts from Justice Chandrachud's dictation before he pronounced the final verdict, saying that Arnab should be out on bail. The one word which kept coming up repeatedly and which you stressed upon repeatedly as well, and rightfully so, was the fact that this was not just about freedom of speech or freedom of expression under Article 19(1)(a), but more importantly, this was about Article 21. If you recollect, Rhythm, who better than you that he kept talking of personal liberties which had been trampled upon. The fact that the courts in Mumbai, be it the Bombay High Court or the Session Court, I'm saying this very responsibly for the benefit of your audience, Justice Chandrachud did not mince words, and he was very categorical and said that the personal liberties of Arnab Goswami had not been upheld by the court, despite the fact that the Chief Judicial Magistrate had clearly said, A, his arrest was illegal, B, just informing him under Section 173(8) that he will be arrested because there's been a magisterial probe that will be conducted, wide Section 156(3). All these things, if you juxtapose them, you will realize that right from the start, this was about malicious vendetta. Every law was broken. The rule book was flouted and thrown into Arnab's face. But there's a simple saying, the best way to deal with a bully is to stare at him in the face. And you know, there's again that other famous saying, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I think by standing up for truth to power, by continuing to raise his voice, be it the Palghar issue, the unnatural death of Sushant Singh Rajput, the Hathras Khulasa, as it were, I think the fact that he's unflinchingly stood up and refused to be bullied by brute state power, I think that is the big takeaway from this, that, you know, सत्य को आप पराजय नहीं कर सकते हो. You know, justice delayed is justice denied, justice hurried is justice buried. We've all heard these cliches time and again ad nauseum. But I think in the case of Arnab, he has showcased that justice is delivered if you stand up for yourself, and every voice counts. And I think in the case of Arnab, what the other panelists have been saying, you know, there's a Jan Sailab in his favor. The fact that he could connect with the masses is an example of the fact that the Janta is very jagruk. They know which cause to stand up for,
exactly
when to
the
show
point
solidarity
that
with
I
an
want
individual.
to make. Yes, Sanju Verma, the bigger point, Lalit Ambar, that I want you to come in. All my panelists are here. Rahul Narvekar is also with us. And Rahul Narvekar, I was asking you a question before I come now. Let's put it point now. Arnab is now a national icon. The way he walked out, the way he was greeted, the crowd, the Vande Mataram, the chants in the air, it's very clear. He said, I am your strength, you are my strength, viewers. And it's come out today, Rahul, that is what now we are looking at. When he walked out of there, you've seen those first few days, the way he was treated. You tried to meet him, whether it was at the Alibag Center or whether it was at Taloja. Tell us about those first few days, and we continue to stay with those visuals. We also go in a few minutes to full frame. I also want to once again play out that reaction of Arnab when he came out of Taloja. Then we're back to the panel after Rahul speaks. Rahul.
Well, undoubtedly, this is a victory of democracy, victory of the vibrant judiciary that we have in our country. And the Honorable Supreme Court has rightly said that the personal liberties and dignity of a person is paramount to this country, to this constitution. This is a guarantee given by the constitution of this country, which has been rightly upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court. While I was perusing the judgment, the Honorable Supreme Court has also asked all the lower judiciary in the country to ensure that the values of dignity and personal liberty are protected, and in the garb of procedural lacunas, we should not compromise personal liberty and dignity of an individual. I am pleased, I am happy, I am absolutely delighted to see that the constitutional obligations of the state have been upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court. Once again, the Supreme Court has reminded the court, has reminded the executive, the bureaucracy, and the other institutions in the country that the fundamental rights of an individual are paramount and cannot be compromised with. Coming back to your question with regards to what kind of treatment has been extended to Arnab, I think even a terrorist has been given better treatment. We've seen how terrorists have been treated with, kid gloves in this country year in before. But you've seen the kind of treatment Arnab was given. At morning 7 o'clock, he's picked up from his house with 70 policemen barging in. Thereafter, he's taken by road to Alibag. He's produced before the magistrate. when the magistrate grants him judicial custody, the police refuses to file their say. They don't file their say with the intention to delay the proceedings. They file a revision application in the Sessions Court against the order passed by the Honorable Learned Magistrate, Chief Magistrate at Alibag. I wonder in how many cases has the police actually filed such applications of revision?
That's right, Rahul.
There are similar cases in the past. The Zia Khan case is a good example. There was no police custody given. Did they go and file a revision application?
Yes.
Did they bother to take it forward? No,
And
they didn't.
Rahul, the question that was also asked, and I want to come across to Lalit Ambardar, who's also on the debate with us. Lalit Ambardar, the question that Mr. Salve also asked, the way he's been put in Taloja jail with hardened criminals, the way he's not being allowed, so as to say, to meet his lawyers, every day there is some reason or the other to be giving out. Then when we expected and told them, please put him in another, place in enclosure when there are at least white-collared criminals, no, we're going to put him in the hardened place. It's very clear every day that they were trying to make life miserable for him. Lalit Ambardar, the one question that Mr. Salve asked in the courts today, is he a criminal? Is he a terrorist? Is this a murder charge that the state of Maharashtra and the Mumbai police has picked him up on?
See, Arnav Goswami, I maintain, is not an ordinary journalist. He's the one who proclaimed on public platform that my journalism is inspired by nationalism. And I will stand by that. That's what he was doing all the time. So India first was his motto. And today, my faith in India's Sanatani belief in Satyamev Jayate is reaffirmed. And he also talks about the Seri belief, Sanatani civilization of India. He's talking about resurgent India. And when our movement, when we started our movement for Jantar Mantar other day, that India stands with Arnav Goswami, it was triggered by the very reason that when he was shifted to a jail which was infested with dreaded criminals, and we were worried, and the way he was carried there, we were worried because everybody was thinking that it's going to be like, God forbid, what Sarabjit suffered in Pakistan.
Yes.
That's what triggered and that's why we went to the President of India, who is not just the President of India. He's a custodian of life, dignity, and justice.
Unfortunately, the state of Maharashtra didn't think so. They thought that the technicalities were more important, Lalit Ambardar. Even today in the court, they were more important. Oh, let it go back to the Sessions Court, they said. He'll come back in a few days, they said. That's what their logic was, Shefali. They wanted it to go back and come back, and they wanted this hide and seek to go on because they don't realize that personal liberties are important. It took the Supreme Court to also say we are giving out a very important lesson that the High Courts must understand. This is about personal liberty.
That's right. Very much so. For the past 8 days, the nation wanted to know why is Arnav Goswami kept in jail on such flimsy charges, and why is he not being served justice. And today, the faith of India in the justice system has been vindicated. And as I see the visuals on your screen, the kind of popular support that Arnav has enjoyed is phenomenal. You know something? They jailed a journalist, but the person who has come out is actually a folk hero. I have never seen ordinary people getting together like this on their own time. This is not a rent-a crowd. This is not a crowd that has been paid money. In these times of COVID, there are so many ordinary citizens in the state of Maharashtra who have stopped everything that they were doing, and they are there. They are there to welcome Arnav because Arnav has become this more larger than life figure. He's become the poster boy for freedom of expression. And Justice Chandrachud has basically read the Riot Act to the government of Maharashtra as well as to the High Court and said that this is not a case of terrorism. Even if everything in the FIR is true, and the justice has used the word gospel truth, he's still asking the question: is this charge enough to keep a man in jail for 8 days without giving him bail? They have said that if they are for liberty and justice, then Arnav must be given jail. I have been reading the judgment, and the words that Justice Chandrachud has used for the government of Maharashtra and for the High Court are scathing, absolutely scathing. And see the response Arnav is getting. It is phenomenal. He is no longer just a journalist. He is a hero.
He's a national icon, and what's even more interesting is the words that were used in the Supreme Court to give out a lesson that was very clear. Zafar Sareshwala, we've seen what the Supreme Court said when, like they said this is also a message that we are sending to the high courts. If we don't interfere today, we walk on the path of destruction. And as we are looking out, Zafar Sareshwala, I also want to say a very interesting observation. In the past 7 nights, on the debates that have happened, not once have we said that anybody needs to come to our support. We're all right. Republic will fight on, because it's a fight we are fighting, and we always say it's the good fight. However, today also, there's not a scroll, not a ticker on any of the channels, because they don't believe in giving prominence. What is this for? Is this because they believe this is not news? Because it's been covered widely on digital. It's a case that was a marathon hearing for 6.5 hours in the top court of the country. Why this selective outrage? And why, when it comes to certain journalists, it's given prominence, and when it comes to others who've also got personal liberties, it's completely silenced?
Ridham, you know, I have known Arnab now almost 16 years. I mean, we have been very closely associated in his earlier avatar, you know, post-2002 Gujarat, and I've been coming with him on debates at least from 2005 onwards. And I have had severe differences with him, severe differences. We had literal fights on the studio. And the best part of Arnab was, and I have earlier also said, that he always has some position. He takes a position and he invites people dead against that position and gives them chance to speak up. And then atmosphere, I've been several times in your Sunday debate. There is severe fight. And then after the program, we all sit and you have that sumptuous that nashta. And that is one thing for which I always try and reach there. So always you have to have, I feel that the atmosphere which had become, that you can be adversaries, you can have differences, but to make adversary as your enemy, I think that is a very dangerous precedent. And that is the answer to your question, that other networks, Arnab has reached where he has reached. They could have at the most thought that he's an adversary or he's your competitor.
True.
But by not mentioning about this, and thanks to Twitter, we wouldn't have known anything about what's happening inside the court. And lastly, I think the Honorable Supreme Court, and particularly the Lordship, he has created
Zafar
a template.
Sareshwala.
I'll complete.
Sure, please.
He has created a template. Arnab has given his sacrifice of 7 or 8 days, but by going through Supreme Court, now we have a template for future, that personal liberty.
True.
And that message has gone loud and clear, not only to the state of Maharashtra, but to every single state in the country, every single police station in the country. And I think this is the best part which has come out of it, that personal liberties of anybody.
That's
and
right. Zafar Sareshwala, that's the big lesson that we've been talking about that came today. Rajat Sethi, I also want to come to you. We've seen the celebration, but the larger picture, like everybody on the debate agrees on, Arnab is going to be now seen as something that at Republic we knew, but now we're going to be seen as a national icon. Because today he stood up, and today what he represents is going to be seen as not only his own personal liberties, but today he stood up and fought the fight of the people. Rajat Sethi, if you can hear me. Okay, let me also just see if I can hear him. Ram Desai was also, okay, I'll just go across to them also. But I'll also ask this question to Anand Ranganathan. Anand, you've clearly today been seeing the hearing, and this is the larger picture here. Today when we saw him coming out, and I was very engrossed in watching the people who were standing there. Like somebody on the panel just today pointed out, these are not people who came because They were paid. This is not a crowd and this is not a political rally. These are people who came out of love. Even in the way when he was walking, Anand, there were even people who could not come down because of COVID. They had their lights flickering in and out to show their solidarity with Arnab. And very clearly, Anand, what we are seeing today is that show of solidarity which we've been seeing an outpouring of throughout the last 8 days.
Precisely, Ritam, and that is the nub of the issue. You know, the people today see their fear and see their happiness through Arnab. And why do I say fear? You know, my good friend Mr. Sureshwala made some excellent points, but may I please disagree with him on a couple? You see, when he says that a template has been made, I fear I must disagree, because what is the cost of the state, the fragrant state, to be paid? The state is not going to pay any cost whatsoever. Did you know, even the Supreme Court has said that the bail is an exception, not the rule. 67% of all our Indian prisoners are under trials. They are waiting for 10, 12 years. And what happens after 12 years, they may not get justice, but the state is never punished. There is no price to pay for what the state has done. And as you know, for the last 7, 8 days, all of us, of course, you know, we as bystanders, but you, Arnab, are so exhausted by the whole exercise that, believe me, you are just pleased that he's out. Arnab is just pleased that he's out. Nobody is thinking like I am right now, that
Correct.
the state has to be punished for what it has done.
Yes.
You see, have all the panelists, none of them have said that what the state did was unjust. The state has to be paid.
And that,
It has to
Anand,
be punished. The state has to pay in some way or the other.
okay, I also see Lalit Ambardar raising his hand. I see Shazia, and I'm going to come. But Lalit Ambardar, I come to you first because this is very long. I see you raising your hand, and I also come to Shazia after that. Lalit Ambardar, the point that's being made, the state of Maharashtra today has also been criticized for a very critical point. In the assembly that was there, Home Minister Anil Deshmukh went forward and he spoke about the suicide case, and Mr. Salve said, per se, this is illegal. What are your views on the way the state of Maharashtra has conducted itself?
See, I believe the system of India, in our system, police does not work on its own. They follow the diktats from the political masters. And you had on a sting operation on your channel, one of the sitting ministers of the very government claiming that we're going to torture Arnab Goswami to the extent that he will commit suicide. And I was hoping that somebody would take cognizance of it. That's why we're worried about it. Number two, I want to reassure you. I want to make some statement. Today, see, I've been an activist for the past 30 years. I think Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court is my court. I have every reason to be aggrieved about. Because one, they rejected, this very Supreme Court rejected our plea for justice for the survivors of Kashmir, the Kashmiri Hindus. They rejected that plea. But now, today is a momentous day. I'm sure, I'm very confident, I'm very optimistic. The very Supreme Court will now order a tribunal to investigate the justice for Kashmiri Hindus. Number three, I also want to appeal to the people of India. Do not, just because there were a few rogues who tortured Arnab Goswami, do not undermine the valor of the police of Mumbai police. They fought against, you remember Tukaram Omble, he sacrificed his life in capturing Kasab alive during the 2711 operation. Number three, I also want to reiterate that this moment will also trigger a debate on procedural complexities in the system of law.
Shazia,
can you imagine?
yes.
Arnav supports. Let me complete. Arnav supports so much.
Yeah,
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the plight of
Just
the
a small point. I want to make a small point.
And RIT activist.
I want to make a very small and a specific point here.
Shazia, please.
Treated like a terrorist.
On Shazia, very interestingly today.
So I want to make a very small point and I want to make a small point and a specific point. I've been saying this for many days now. So now Supreme Court has found the entire detention illegal. We also know there was no merit and no case for custodial interrogation. While we all know that, and while we are happy that Arnab has been granted bail, and we see the jubilation in the new template that we are talking about, which is our only hope from Supreme Court, so to speak, which clearly speaks to the lower courts as well. Don't you think, Rhythm, there has to be a reiteration of theory of separation of powers? should a member of executive be allowed and get away with, and has already gotten away with, as we see, by reinvestigation of a case? Who will return Arnab Goswami those 8 days, or many under trials and people out there who have been wrong, who have been done wrong by the state? That's one. And two, what about the Home Minister? What about the Home Minister? He gets away. The entire assembly gets away. The Mumbai police gets away. All those 40 armed policemen get away. The jailer gets away. You see the entire, there's a problem with the process to start with. What happens later on to those people who actually conceived of something as sinister and vicious as this, because the intention was bona fide, and that has been conceded?
Absolutely. Valid point. We've taken that into consideration. Shefali is also raising her hand. Shefali, I come to you. And viewers, let me tell you, as we await, the countdown has begun for 2 people. We're also awaiting our counsel in the Supreme Court, Mr. Hari Salve, to be with us shortly. We're also going to be waiting the return of Arnab Goswami to the very studios where he started this journey, where he's spoken about the Republic very soon now. But first, I want to go across to Shefali as we count down into that. Shefali, smiles everywhere today. Shefali, take it away. No questions. Make your point.
What I wanted to say is for the past 8 days, because of whatever has happened to Arnab, all of your energy of the entire channel has gone into just fighting this injustice. And you have not been able to do justice to the other cases, which should have been your job, which is what Republic has been doing so fearlessly. So who is going to pay for the 8 days of heartache that has been caused to you? Anand is absolutely right. Where is the accountability of that? And I hope that Arnab, when he comes back today or tomorrow, whenever he comes back to his unique brand of journalism with the same fervor that he used to be before he was incarcerated. This is absolutely unacceptable what has been done to Arnab. And the court has also said that this is no terrorism. Why were there 40 people to arrest him? Why was a policeman with an AK-47 gone to his house to arrest him? In a case which was closed and reopened. The Mumbai police did not even treat Ajmal Kasab like this. And also, while I'm happy that justice is being done to Arnab, we all know that it's a long way ahead. It's the fight is still not over yet. But what about Samit Thakkar? What about the other under trials who are still rotting in jail? And another thing, Rhythm, my last point. Today, Kirit Somaiya had made some startling revelations on Twitter. He's talked about land deals between the Chief Minister's wife and Anwar Nair.
Since we've not gone, Shefali, into that, I don't want to go about something which we've not corroborated, we've not investigated. That's why I just stop you there, because that is something, once we've investigated very, very closely, Shefali, I will speak about it. Zafar Sareshwala is also raising his hand. I want to go across to him. Sanju Verma is also, okay, all right. I'm going to come across to Sanju Verma and Zafar Sareshwala. Sanju Verma, make your point and then I go across to Zafar Sareshwala.
Okay. Rhythm, I just want to say one thing. It's very important to bell the cat. And each time on your show and even on social media, I have been tagging the Chief Minister. I was surprised when some people told me, don't be surprised if they come hounding for you. But like I said, truth needs to be told. The fact of the matter is that today one very interesting point which none of the panelists have made and which Harish Salve made and which was taken cognizance of by Justice Chandrachud is the fact that when you're talking of abetment to suicide, there has to be a case pertaining to active instigation. He said owing money to somebody does not tantamount to any violation under section 306 of the IPC and does not tantamount to active instigation. Point number 1. Point number 2, as Shefali rightly said, this is not just about pulling up the High Court or the Sessions Court. This is a direct castigation of the brutal manner in which state resources were used to target an honest individual, a journalist in this case, and the Maharashtra government has been put in the dock in as many words. The third important point which I want to make is that the fact of the matter is that recently there was a news on social media, I've tweeted about it, that there were 2 people, one Manoj Chaudhary from Jalgaon and another Pandarang Gadde from Ratnakar division, both MSRTC bus drivers, and they committed suicide blaming the Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray saying they were not paid their dues. Look at the coincidence. The similarity is too much to miss. So I asked on Twitter, if this is true, will it be a fair probe? Because you cannot have different rules for different people based on the position or the chair that they occupy. So I think this, in a way, has opened a larger debate about the selective outrage, not only, as you mentioned, about a half a dozen channels which have chosen to keep quiet. I've come on umpteen debates on your channel and said that the Editors Guild, be it the News Broadcasters Association, the cat seems to have got their tongue. They could not stand up for a colleague of theirs, and this is the same brigade which was even quiet when Shivani, your colleague, was heckled a couple of years back. But they have no qualms about standing in solidarity with a journalist who picks up fights at Madison Square simply because he's questioned by a couple of individuals, you know, and posed an innocuous question. So I think this selectivity in terms of outrage, the hypocrisy is out there for everybody to see. As they say, the only thing worse than a liar is a liar who is also a hypocrite. I'm so glad that the collateral damage, if anything, of this is the fact that the masks have fallen off this so-called Khan Market Brigade, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time before the NVA alliance led by the Congress, which is the kingpin in this entire
Sanju, now I just want to tell you quickly. Sanju, I want to tell you quickly, the biggest... Zafar Sarishwala, go ahead, make your point. Go ahead.
See,
We're being rather democratic on the debate today. This is not a debate, rather. I'm letting everyone make their different viewpoints because I think all of us are speaking in one voice, and that is the voice of the people of India. Zafar Sarishwala.
See, when I said that Arnab gave this sacrifice, and because of that we have come to this position where the honorable judge has said this. Now, what we need is, I'm replying to Anand Rangnathan, why this is happening. Illegal detention, people, what happened to Arnab. There are people, scores of people, 60% of people in jail. They are, without any trial. Why this is happening? Because we need, the justice, criminal justice system needs to be reformed. There has to be sense of accountability to the police and to the state. Till we don't have sense of accountability with the police and the people who put people inside the jail without any legality, till they are not punished, till they are not paid, we will see repeat of this. So I think now Republic should take this cause of illegal detention of people across the country. I think this is the best part which has come after sacrifice of Arnab.
Absolutely. Let me also now go across Rami Desai. Rami Desai, the bigger point here, and viewers, as I'm going to go across, soon we're going to be putting out now. Arnab is going to join us very soon. So as we're waiting for that moment, Rami Desai, today we've heard all the points there. We've heard about how he's going to be. He is a national icon now. We've seen the support. We've seen the crowds that swelled up. Rami, we've also seen the Supreme Court today question what was happening to the Maharashtra government when they also picked up and arrested a man. And I'm trying to go across to look at these observations that came in from the Supreme Court while they were there. Not only did they give a message to the high courts, they gave out a larger message here. And even Harish Salve, when he was talking, gave out a larger message. I remember, in fact, at 10:30 a.m. today, when a 6.5 hours marathon hearing happened in the Supreme Court, Mr. Salve said, Arnab's been targeted. This is the way the state government is acting. This is the way they're behaving. This is malified. And then he went on to list all the cases. Today, when Arnab is coming out, today when he's now become what he was seen and perceived as, but now they can see it with their front eyes. They sent 70 policemen. Today there are 200 escorting him out, Rami. The police and the Maharashtra government must have realized this is not something they could have anticipated.
Rhythm, I don't know if the Maharashtra government and the police has realized anything or were they compelled to do what they did today. But let me at the outset say that it was very nice to see Arnab in such high spirits and well and, looking good. But to see the kind of images I saw of the love and support that he's got is absolutely unprecedented. And, I think this is truly a real vindication to what he's gone through. But having said that, let me tell you something that these images told me. They told me that irrespective of it being a working day, irrespective of it being a time of a pandemic, Mumbai's gave him such a warm welcome because they understand what has been happening. They